I've been meeting a lot of people who came back from all over the world, and I see how much they're making for our ecosystem while living outside Bulgaria, then coming back and introducing some new business models, new strategies, new know-how. And I see this as an amazing thing to do. The magic here is you can live in Bulgaria, you can make a business in Bulgaria, but you can sell to wherever you want. You can sell to Europe, to Australia, to America, to Canada, UK, wherever you want, and still be in Bulgaria and help our ecosystem to grow. So yeah, we are living in an amazing time.
This is the Back to Bulgaria podcast. Discover life in Bulgaria, one story at a time.
I'm your host, Anna Maria, a crazy American-born Bulgarian who has lived in many different places, but now I have ultimately decided to call Sofia, Bulgaria my home. Together with my sister, who is just as crazy, we decided to start this podcast in order to showcase the stories of other people who have lived abroad and decided to come back or have actively decided to stay in Bulgaria and pursue their passions and dreams. We'll discuss a large variety of topics from living in Bulgaria to building a business or career here. And we discuss topics that matter to people who are interested in living here and creating a real change. So today we are here with Hristo. He is an entrepreneur in every sense of the word. He's lived in the UK and a few years in France, and now he has decided to call Bulgaria his home as well. He is the CEO of Priказkite, an audio fairy tale app that is one of the first, I think, to offer audio fairy tales to young kids, children all over Bulgaria, all over the world that want to hear stories in Bulgarian. He is also a mentor to many young adults all around Bulgaria, and he is somebody that helps startups in their beginning stages throughout working out their strategies in order to become successful. So, hello, Hristo.
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you today because our story actually began kind of randomly.
Yeah,
which I think was really cool. Yeah, we met up at Kosher, which is an event of Tuktam that are also doing awesome things for Bulgarian people, Bulgarians abroad. And I was really, really surprised and happy that you were so excited to hear about this podcast and what we're doing with it. I thought it was so cool that you have this awesome app that tells fairy tales to children in Bulgarian all over the world.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I was really amazed by the idea of Back to Bulgaria podcast because I've been meeting a lot of people who came back from all over the world, and I see how much they're making for our ecosystem while living outside Bulgaria, then coming back and introducing some new business models, new strategies, new know-how, and I see this as an amazing thing to do.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people and a lot of initiatives that are the fruit of people that have decided to pursue their dreams and passions in Bulgaria, which is, I think, just awesome.
Where the magic here is because you can live in Bulgaria, you can make a business in Bulgaria, but you can sell to wherever you want. You can sell to Europe, to Australia, to America, to Canada, UK, wherever you want, and still be in Bulgaria and help our ecosystem to grow. So yeah, we are living in an amazing time.
Yes, and I'm really excited to hear some more about your story. So can you go ahead and let us know, before you decided to move abroad, what were you up to, how you came to the decision to move abroad, and what you were up to there?
Yeah, sure. So it was 11th or 12th grade when I decided that I would be studying abroad, studying, working, living, etc. And I was sure I was going to do something related to psychology and sociology, because I really like communications with people, etc. So when I spoke with my parents, parents are some big part of your life, especially when you decide where to study. I told them I'm thinking to study either Sofia or Free Varna University.
Okay.
And they were like, you should go somewhere else. We encourage you to go in UK or wherever you want. So this is where the idea was born to study and live somewhere else. So I decided this to be UK.
Mm-hmm.
And after I finished, after I graduated, I went to study psychology and sociology in Manchester.
Yeah. Okay.
Manchester, how they love to call it. So that was some quite of experience, especially in this age when you've been living with your parents for 18 some years, and you go to somewhere else far away, and only you can give them a call.
Yeah,
If they
all
call
of a
them, they
sudden.
cannot show up magically in front of you
Yeah, you're
and
just
cook for
on
you
your own.
or do the laundry. So the first couple of months were, I could say, stressing.
Yeah.
I believe that almost everyone who've been through this knows the first months. Nobody telling you to wash your hands. I still remember it the first time when I came back. Yeah, that was the first time when I went away like September and then came back for Christmas. And my mother told me, go and wash your hands. And I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
I haven't been hearing this for 3 months.
Have you done it in the past?
Did I wash my hands before? Did that happen? Maybe I didn't.
Remember to.
Yeah. So there were the studying wasn't so amazing. Everybody's saying that you should go somewhere else to study because the lecturers, the professors are much nicer. Well, in my case, this wasn't the case.
Yeah, I think it really depends on what you're willing to put in, but also, how much you're getting from the professors, how much they're devoted to what they're doing too.
Yeah, it really depends on the professors. Are they going to inspire you, maybe?
Yeah.
Because I had some amazing professors. Whenever I was attending their lectures, oh my God, I was falling in love. Yeah. But that was like 10% of the time. The other 90% I was bored.
That's not good.
And I know how much I'm paying for this, and I'm bored. Come on. So this was the first red flag when I remember when I'm getting bored into lectures, I'm paying quite a lot for them. Not a good thing. Yeah. So what I did, I was there 2 years.
Okay.
The first year, I wasn't thinking to work. I wanted to focus on my studies. I did not focus on my studies, definitely. I focused on gaming.
Okay.
Yeah, I focused on gaming. And I focused on volleyball. I've been playing volleyball for, it was 7-8 years back then. And they had this team in the Manchester where I signed up and I joined the team. So gaming and playing volleyball was a big part there. In the second year, I decided I need to start working. But during this time especially, there was some huge problems happening between UK and Bulgarians and Romanians.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so...
Was it related to Brexit or no?
Yeah, no, it was a few years before that, but there was these big topics on the newspapers and everything, social media, that we are there to take their jobs. Oh, and I'm not even joking, that sounds quite weird. And I wasn't really, I wasn't trying so hard to find a job. Anyway, after the second year, I definitely didn't feel so well there. Maybe one of the main problem was that the university didn't have a lot of international students.
That's interesting.
I mark this as a red flag. In our class, we were 45 people, 1 Italian, 1 French and me, and 42 English.
Wow, okay.
So
I feel like that's a little unique for UK schools. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just this one. I know that plenty of other universities are like 30-40% are international students, yeah. Maybe it was the topic, sociology and psychology, that wasn't so really wanted to. I don't know. Maybe this is the reason. But I said it in the beginning, I like communicating. So I'm really talkative person. I easily go to someone and I'm starting on a conversation and I find it very, very hard there. Like to go to someone and start a conversation.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, this was the second red flag in my life. And from what I saw during those 2 years is that my only passion is about playing video games and playing volleyball.
Yeah.
And I'm paying quite expensive for those two things. So after I finished the second year, I gave a call to my mother and father and I was like, guys, things are not going so well. I'm seriously thinking about coming back because I don't feel well. I'm not studying at all, honestly. I'm passing my exams, but not because I want to.
Yeah. It was good that you had that
I had
intuition to
Yeah.
say,
I had
should
it
try
for,
something else.
let's say I had it for 1 extra year, but it's really difficult to make the decision that you're going to share this with your parents, because a lot of the time, especially with young adults nowadays, they are starting their studies and they don't want to quit because they are going to make their parents feel bad. But I never had this thinking in my head. I knew my parents are going to.
Yeah,
are
you
going
had
to
their
be-
support.
Yeah, I had their support. So I gave them a call. They were like, "Man, you should do it.
Yeah,
Come
that's
back.
great.
Just come back. If you don't feel nice, come back." So I was really happy that I'm back to Bulgaria. I was like in my 20s back then.
Yeah, was
And
that a good time when you first came back? What was going through
I
your
was
mind?
completely lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really good at video games though, but I was completely lost back then. Not idea what I'm doing with my life, not at all. So I've spent like 6 months at home, only playing video games, playing guitar, not looking for a job even. I was working some stuff, but I would not say this is a job if you work once a week
Yeah.
or
Okay.
once a month.
So then what was the moment that you were like, okay, I'm going to try again, maybe somewhere else,
I will
maybe
tell you
something
what was
else.
the moment. My mother gave me a call. Yeah, that was the moment. She said, "You're doing nothing."
Shout out to
And
your mom.
Yeah, shout out to my mom. She said, "You're doing nothing. Either start a job or start studying. Get your shit together, dude."
Put you in your way.
And I was like, maybe she's right. Maybe I'm not doing. Maybe
Moms usually
being top 10 in this particular game back then, it's not my the story of my life. It's not my pick. So and I started looking for what can I study. It was not going to be sociology, psychology, definitely. So it was this. Again, I will mention my mother because she gave me another call and she said, there is this university that is sending their students to France. So I was okay. Let's check it up.
Great.
Yeah. She's been really proactive in my education. So I gave them a call. They explained to me that we are basically living abroad in France. We are working, we are studying, and the most important thing I heard back then was that they are paying for our work. So basically, I can pay for my studies. I can pay for my living.
Yeah.
Without putting a pressure on my parents.
Yeah.
So I really like that idea because back then you already spent, let's say 30,000 already, and you don't want to ask your parents for more money when you're in 20s.
Did this come from the Bulgarian side?
It was from Bulgaria.
Oh, okay.
It was from the Bulgarian side. So I signed up for the university. They were happy to have me. I started studying there, and in the second month, there was this offer from a place to go there, live there, work there, study there. And I instantly accepted it. I didn't put any thought on it. I still remember it. The teacher came in front of us. She sat for it. Took me 3 seconds, and I said, "I'm going," because I knew if I start overthinking it, something will be happening there.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's not the right place. Maybe I should wait. Maybe. No.
Sometimes you just gotta say yes.
I said yes, and I remember it was 9 months after I came back to Bulgaria, and I said to my parents, "Guys, I'm going to France." They were shocked. I remember this. They were shocked. They expected this to happen, but in the second, the third year, and I said, "Guys, this is it. I'm going to France. Oh, je vais parler français."
That's great.
Yeah. So after 15 days, basically, I went to France, and it was pretty much 4 intense years of mainly working, not so much studying, mainly working, and passing exams.
Yeah.
So this was the place when I definitely grew up. Yeah, before that it was more childish, let's say. But when you work, when you start paying for yourself and everything, between 20 to 24.
Yeah, it sounds like an intense program.
That was intense. intense
And in a
years.
new culture, in a place where people mostly
yeah.
speak French.
Yeah,
Did you know
yeah.
French before going
Yes, I knew how to say bonjour.
there? Yes.
I knew how to say oui.
Bien
So,
sûr.
yeah, bien sûr aussi. But this is a good thing that my parents from the side of my father, they grandparents, they were from France. So
Oh.
I'm French-blooded, I'm Russian-blooded as well.
Wow, okay.
So I have some different running
Mixtures.
yeah. I mostly knew how to swear in French.
No.
So, but I knew it quite well, So,
Maybe that helped you.
it helps. When a French guy sees how you swear in French, and he's like, "Oh, mec, tu vas parler bien, oui." So, I went to France. I started studying there. I started working, etc., etc.
Were you able to immerse in the French culture? Did you have time to
Yes,
have
because
French friends?
I was basically studying and working in 4 different locations during this time. So I was there for 6-8 months. Then I came back for 2 months into Bulgaria. Then I go to for a different place. I remember how France is a big country, and depending on the place, they're treating you completely different ways.
That's so true.
This is so true. So let's say I've been around Paris, in Paris as well. I've been in the south, let's not mess up the ways, in the east and in the north.
Mm-hmm.
So in Paris, it's a lot of international. They're used to.
Yeah.
They even speak English there.
They speak
They
English.
speak English
It's
in
a big
Paris.
thing.
Yeah, this
They
is a
didn't
big
used
thing.
to speak English, but now they speak English.
Yeah. In Paris, they speak English.
Yeah.
So I still remember one of the biggest shocks I ever had living in another country was in Paris after 11 p.m. So after 23 o'clock, thank you. I just have these images now. I'm like back from the war,
Trauma.
from trauma. Yeah, the whole streets, like everywhere, there is rats. You can step on them. They don't even care about you're there. They go around you. They pass you. It was so. Oh my God.
That's part of Paris's charm.
No, come on. This is not charm. I could say that a lot of different other things are charming, but this is so stressful, and especially people who are laying down.
No.
Okay, I'm not. Okay, I will stop about that. Yeah, but the rats. No, thank you.
Yeah.
This was a red flag in my head. I'm not living here. It's a no.
Not
It's
in
a no.
Paris.
Not in Paris.
I gotta say, when I was in Paris, I saw maybe 3 rats, but I wasn't out, I guess, that late.
If you go to the park zone, oh my God.
Yeah, that's
No.
true. That's true.
And
then
so yeah, then I worked and studied in Courchevel, which is in the Alps.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow.
So yeah, that was interesting, but the people there not so warm. Maybe because it's cold. I don't know.
It's in the Alps.
It was there was a big difference between Frenchmen and Bulgarians and foreigners at all. So I was like, oh, this is not my place. You know what was the culture shock? When they say cheers, they do not look at each other's eyes.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was like, guys, this is not okay. We don't do it like this in Bulgaria.
Yeah. It's not good.
Yeah, not good. Show us some respect.
Yeah.
And they were really entertained with the thing with the eyes, and they're like, allez, cheers.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that I went to South.
Okay.
Oh, lele, South.
Is that the best?
Well, I would say this is the best for partying.
Oh.
The people there, they're not having a break. You're basically waking up in the morning, working hardcore till 4-5 p.m., even till 8 sometimes, and then you go out. It's a rule. You cannot go back to your house. You cannot chill. You go, you just take a shower and you go out. You go on the beach and you're partying till 3-4 a.m. I had a chance to visit Nice, to visit Monaco. I loved let's see if I know this in English. What is the name of the Oceanographic Museum? Is it correct?
Ocean. Oceanographic.
Okay.
Oceanographic.
Yeah, it's a deal. Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, write us on the
Ocean
podcast.
Museum.
Did we say it correct?
Yes.
This was amazing place. If you guys haven't seen it, Google it. If even in the photos,
I've seen it in Monaco, but I haven't gone inside.
you should go inside. There is literally a place you go there inside, and you're standing in a glass and watching the ocean below your feet, like let's say 100 meters down. Oh,
Wow.
it's
Scary?
nice. It's really scary,
Thrilling.
but it's nice. And in your left there is a shark. In the right there is a turtle. Yeah, it's really, really nice.
That's really fun.
So
Great
yeah.
places to visit.
this is a good place to visit. Yeah, and the ice cream is really nice in these areas.
Yeah.
So definitely, I felt okay, but the work was I didn't work with nice people. Let's say that.
Okay.
My boss, my chef, there wasn't a nice person. So this is the reason I said so long.
Okay.
And then I went north.
Okay.
I went north. I was there for 2 years. And the Frenchmen, this is basically Bretagne.
Yeah.
They are so nice. Honestly, I never ever felt so welcomed in a place. They did everything possible. I was a Bulgarian stagiaire. You know, stagiaire. This is
Intern.
intern. Thank you. I was basically an intern, but they made quite some effort to make me feel comfortable.
Yeah, a good impression.
A good impression. I was invited to every gathering. They were explaining me a lot. This is this. This is that. They were really, really cool people.
That's a great environment to be in.
Yeah, and when I traveled around Britannia, I definitely saw that this is the best place to be as a foreigner in France.
Yeah, so it sounds like overall your experience in France was very diverse. You had encounters with all types of people. What even led you to even think about coming back?
I wasn't
Bulgaria.
thinking. Again, what a man thing to do was not thinking. So this happened. I came back for Christmas in Bulgaria. I was walking around in Varna. I was living in Varna back then. It was 27th of December, 11 or 12 p.m. in the night, in the center, and there was this shop, ice cream shop, opened. It's freezing outside. And I was like, what? And it's written Italian ice cream made here. What I need to say is that I'm really into ice cream. This is my thing. I love it. I love it on so many levels. I like to test it, to feel it. This is the best thing ever made by humans, maybe except music. So I went into the shop and I said, guys, I know how ice cream is made. There is no possible way you're doing it here. So there was this guy, only one guy. And he said, we are doing it here. And I said, either show me or I'm leaving.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so he said, I cannot show you, it's not allowed. And I said, I'm not buying ice cream, then have a nice evening. And he said, wait. And he went in some back room, and after a couple of minutes, he went outside, said, come here. And I entered, I saw the machine, everything that they're doing it there. I was like, okay, I'm buying ice cream.
Nice.
So it was like 2 degrees outside, and I bought ice cream, and we started chatting for a couple of minutes. He asked me, what am I doing? I said, restaurant in France, blah, 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 blah. He said, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So we chatted for, let's say, 40 minutes or so.
Wow, okay.
And he asked for my number, which was like quite a weird thing. But I said, whatever, here is my number. And it was 5th, 6th of January after New Year's. And I had a call from France, and they told me, Richie, we are happy to tell you that we don't want you as a stagiaire anymore. We want to
offer a job.
Offer you a job.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, with double, triple the pay.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, things are happening in my life. But I told them, of course, I'm a good negotiator. I said, I'm going to think for a couple of days and I'll give you back. I had some time in this place.
Okay.
So I was pretty much saying yes to this. There is no better offer.
But
But during those 3 days that I told him I'm going to think about it, this guy gave me a call. And he told me, I'm this guy from the
ice cream
cream shop. I'm like, okay, man, what's up? Everything fine? And he said, yeah, something that you don't know is that I'm the owner of the place, and I'm now opening an Italian restaurant, and I'm looking for a manager for the
Okay.
Italian. And from what I understand about you in these 40 minutes is that we think alike with you, and I think you're the perfect fit for a manager there. And I was like, what? Seriously? Yeah.
Great.
I think I'm the best fit for manager there. So I went to a meeting with him. We negotiated some terms, and I accepted being a
Wow.
manager in Varna. The restaurant was in a good place. So I gave the call to the French guys, and I gave the call to my parents. Guys, I'm not leaving. I'm staying here. They were, oh my God, they were so happy about it. My friends were so happy about it.
Yeah.
Who would knew that I will not have any time for them when you start working when you are managing a restaurant? You do not have time. Time is not nothing that oh my God, this is so, I don't know. Have you been working in restaurant ever?
Well, my dad has been a franchisor of restaurants in the States, of pizza places.
Okay,
So
it
I
was
have
a
an
pizza
idea
place.
of how little time he had around
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and my
Well,
sister actually worked there. I
sorry.
wasn't old enough.
It's a good place to practice for your life.
It's true. Is there something that when you came back, like to Bulgaria and you started this job, that you wish you knew?
I'm going there now.
That
I'm going there
were
now
challenges?
because I was working in restaurants in France for 4 years, and I came back and I wanted to implement this, whatever I knew from there.
What you learned from
what
France?
I learned. Yeah.
I mean, it is the gastronomy capital of the world.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of information, a lot of
Yeah.
experience.
To be honest, the main thing when I got offered the job was being a manager, nice. Okay, in like 23, 24 years old, being a manager, nice. But the thing that really pushed me was I'm putting so much effort into a business which is not located in Bulgaria, and I always loved Bulgaria, and I always knew I should do something for and in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
And there was always the back of my head here that I knew I need to get back, and putting effort and making especially Varna back then. I really loved my town, and I wanted to do something good for the city. So this was the opportunity I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
And I worked there for 1 year. During this period, I got offered to start second master degree in business and entrepreneurship, and I fell in love into this. Like, I was there. I remember when I went to my first lecture of entrepreneurship, I went back home and I told my mother and father, guys, there is something happening.
This is it.
This is it. I know what I'm going to be. And they were like, okay, tell me. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. And they bursted in laugh. Like, ha, 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 ha. Okay, let's see. But a couple of weeks after I quit the restaurant, I met my partner. We opened a co-working space. And from this day on, best decision ever.
Yeah, I remember you telling me earlier about your experience, like having the opportunity to do this master's in Varna, of all places. Like, it sounded so out of the ordinary for me.
Pure luck.
Yeah.
Pure luck. There is this guy, Larry Bill, who was organizing a master degree in Varna, Bulgaria, with only lecturers from Silicon Valley.
Yeah, that's...
I didn't know about Silicon Valley back then. I didn't know where am I. I didn't know about those people. They were just random people for me coming in front of us and telling us, I just sold my company for 75 million to Microsoft. And I was like,
Just another day in the
Just
life.
another day in the life. Like, okay, is this true? Maybe you were an employee there, but they speak and understand. This is the owners that speak to me, and there is a guy with net worth of couple of 100 millions that is talking to me about how should I do my business, telling me how does business works, what is to be a consumer, what is to make products, how to sell products, and I just felt it. Oh my God, wow.
Sounds like an awesome jumping pad to have, like connections with these people that have been successful, that know how it works.
Yeah.
And then to be able to put into practice what you've learned from that program.
Definitely. This is where I understood that I really needed a mentor in my life, because I was following my path. Everybody is following his path, but when there is a guy who is more experienced than you are, and he basically can save you some time.
Yeah.
He can save you some time, and time is the most precious thing. You
I
don't
guess
think about it when you're 16 or 18 or 20, but when you start working, time is important.
Especially when you're starting to do your own thing, because when you start to do your own thing, there's so many obstacles that come in your way that you don't know how to even approach them. And when you have somebody to ask that maybe has been there before, has a connection that could help you out, mentorship, I think, is somewhere that can really help you continue even when you're faced with obstacles.
Yeah, definitely. My mentor basically is solving problems that I cannot solve for a couple of weeks with one sentence. And he's really experienced, he's really nice, and he understands much more about business than I do. But when you have a problem, you think this is the big thing. Nobody else has this problem. And when someone is saying to you, oh yeah, this is normal, you just do this, and you're like, what?
Yeah, it kind of helps you calm down for
sure.
Yeah,
you're definitely okay, everything is fine. So and you know what I really loved about starting business? When I started doing business in Bulgaria, I started selling to Bulgarians, and a couple of years after, I started meeting with people who live in Bulgaria but sell abroad. Mm-hmm. So they sell to UK, they sell to
bigger markets.
To bigger markets, yeah. And I understood that this is one of the bestest places to be in, living in Bulgaria and selling products, making products or services to somewhere else, because in Bulgaria there is some good things. You pay less taxes.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And
lower cost of living.
And I even have a friend of mine who is helping foreigners to move to Bulgaria.
Okay.
And you
gotta connect us with them.
I gotta connect you with him because he's going crazy, for a lot of people from France. I have a French guy who is doing this only for people from France. I'm going to connect it with you.
Okay.
The other guy, people from UK, people from all over the world. They're just coming and set up their companies in Bulgaria. They're moving with their families here.
Yeah.
Living so.
This is what we want to happen.
Well, and he has a lot of stories of different people who are really, really successful, and they're in a stage of their life that they're like, let's be Bulgaria. This is definitely the best place to be. Oh, I would love to share something. You said about cultural shock, right?
Yeah.
But let's speak about the food shock.
The food shock.
There is a food shock when you move to UK.
Oh.
Well,
yes.
You may be a rich person. I wasn't. Maybe if you have a couple of thousands per day to go and eat in expensive restaurants, you're going to be fine. But if you're a student and you need to cook, buy food, live with a couple of £100 a month, oh my God, the food is awful.
Oh no, yeah.
Have you been to the UK?
I've been to the UK, but I was also raised in the US.
I don't know about US. I've never been.
It's a similar
I
problem.
still remember going to the market and purchasing tomatoes. 6 tomatoes for £1. They were looking exactly the same, like printing with a 3D printing machine. I was sure that they're plastic. You cut them. There is no smell. There is no smell. You eat, you taste them. There is no taste. You're like, maybe this is not a tomato.
Tastes like water.
Nothing at all. You turn to see the package. Tomatoes. You're like, please, this is not a tomato. And I invited some friends over to Bulgaria. Whoever tastes the vegetables, the fruits, the vegetables, especially tomatoes and cucumbers, they were like, oh my God, is this real? Is this the true feeling? So the vegetables, or the food in general, when you move to UK.
Unfortunately, the problem is not only in the UK.
Yeah, I don't
but
know
especially coming from Bulgaria, I can't imagine.
Yeah, well,
being used to the good food here.
In France, I was working in restaurants. In the one restaurant I worked, it was not okay, but the other ones were, when you're inside, you can eat whatever you want. So this is a plus.
No, I sincerely hope that Bulgaria continues to have strength in agriculture and continues to cultivate fruits and vegetables in Bulgaria using quality products, because unfortunately in many other, especially Western European and all of the US, it's a sad story.
It's a sad story. It's a sad story.
But thankfully in Bulgaria, this has not overtaken yet, and I hope it doesn't.
Luckily, we still have these grannies who are living in...
Yeah, you can always go to the village. You can always go to the village. That's our hope.
Exactly. And you bring a tomato like this one and you cut it and you don't even need salt or pepper. You can just...
So something I did want to ask you about real quick, because you were telling me that you did start something related to getting fruits and vegetables from the village and bringing them to the city.
Yes.
Can you go into that just a little bit?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was an awesome idea.
Yeah. First, I would just want to put some spotlight again on the Bulgarian vegetables, especially if there are people who are living abroad and listening to this podcast. You guys need to travel to Bulgaria to taste the food. Do it. Just once. You're going to fall in love.
Yeah.
About the startup, so that was, I think, 2 years after I came back from UK, and still, even today, whenever I taste a vegetable, I'm like, thanks, I'm in Bulgaria. Thank you very much.
Thank God.
So what I saw is that in the big markets, I'm not going to mention them, but even in Bulgaria, in the big markets, there are still tasteless fruits, tasteless vegetables. And I was like, why is this happening to Bulgaria as well? When I know there is 10 villages around our city, around Varna, that are producing as hell much, much better production. And with my partner back then, we had this conversation and we came up with the idea that we want to go to the producers, to the farms, and speak with the owners and ask them, whenever you have something in production, give us a call. We come to pick it up and we sell it in Varna. And we wanted to make it in 24 hours. So basically our unique sales proposition was that the vegetables is in your door in less than 24 hours after it's been picked. Thank you. After it's been picked. So in my head, that was amazing. It sounds amazing, right? Well,
I want that.
I want that as well. In my head, that was the best quality of food that we can deliver, and we can deliver to the final customers. And in my head, there was not a single possible reason that people are not going to want this. But then I faced reality. I faced that when you go and pick up cucumbers or tomatoes from the local producer, you need to pay, let's say, 4 leva kilo, which is like €2. And when we started speaking with customers, they said, I can pick a similar product for €1.50 from the market, which is next to me.
Yeah.
Why should I pay you more for tomatoes? And you dig up, because this is this is good stuff, man. And don't want to mention the big markets. When you're not a business guy, you only see numbers and you know you're going to pay less for this one, so you pick them. But when you're dealing with business, you know something is wrong with this product. If it's traveling 3,000 kilometers and it's cheaper than the one who is 30 kilometers, something is wrong with this product.
Up there,
Yeah. When we started selling, people were like, this is a little bit pricey. It's 30% more expensive than what we can buy from the local market. And we were like, guys, think.
Great idea.
Please. I was thinking now, maybe if I started this in Sofia, not in Varna back there, because that was 8 years ago. 7. Maybe in Sofia that would be a killer. But who knows? Who knows?
I also wanted to go into, because I know that you are a mentor to many young people today, and I think that this is a big, even just contribution to young people, investment in young people in Bulgaria.
Yeah, it's investment.
Can you tell us a little bit about, just real quick, how you got involved in that, how it's been going, the effect and impact that you've seen?
How it happened, there was this woman, she was basically principal of the mathematical high school in Varna. I was studying with her in this entrepreneurship classes. And she said to me, Richie, you should be a mentor. You should come to our school. I'm doing this entrepreneurial class. Just show up and do some and speak with they're not children, they're like 16 years students. Thank you. And I said, Dimi, her name is Dimi, not a chance. I haven't studied pedagogy. I don't know. You get it. I haven't studied this. I have no idea how to speak with children. What do I tell them? And she said, please just come once. If you don't like it, you're not doing it. I was like, okay, let's give it a try. And I still remember going in this class for first time, like 7-8 people, basically from 14 till 17, 18, something like that. I sat down and they started asking me questions. Like instant, what do you do? How do I do this? We have this business idea. What do you think about it?
Awesome.
How we can improve? How we can do it? I was like, oh my God, they're asking so nice questions. These guys are going to be much more clever than I am. Like after 5 years, I should stick with them. So I noticed that it's not only contributing, it's not only investing. I know it's charity work. You don't get paid for this, but you learn much, much more than you expect from the young generation. And this led me to something. A couple of years after that, one of my mentors told me, I asked him, what is the right business to do? Where should I watch? And he told me one thing: always look after what is the young generation doing.
Yeah,
what is the next? They know it much better than you are. They know it much more. And I started to communicate more frequently with my students. For them that was amazing, because what is good about me, I have a lot of connections, and they're constantly asking me, can you please connect me with those guys? Can you please connect me with those guys?
Yeah, they're not afraid to ask.
Yeah, they're not afraid to ask, and I'm not afraid to connect. And thanks to them, I have an Instagram. Thanks to them, I had a TikTok. I had TikTok much, much earlier than my friends, like a couple of years before that. And I started looking into TikTok, started doing it, using it for the business, selling through it, etc. So it's really nice to speak, to be a mentor, because you learn. It's not only giving. Yes, maybe you give more, but definitely you take a lot. Yeah. And in this position, and I have a mentor, and I am a mentor, this is the best case scenario. Yeah. And I strongly encourage everyone to be in those two positions, to be a mentor and to have a mentor, because he's going to level up much faster.
Yeah, and there's so many mentorship organizations in Bulgaria that I know.
And you don't need a mentorship organization to have a mentor.
That's true. You can also find one.
I when I'm speaking with someone who is Richie, I'm starting to think about a mentor, how to find it, and I'm like, think about the first person you admire. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, I have this one. And I'm telling him, just write him in LinkedIn, write him in Facebook. And they're like, how do I write him? I'm like, come on, man. Just use your keyboard.
Reach out.
Just reach out. Yeah, people are loving it. I really love when someone is reaching out to me and tell me, Richie, can we have a conversation or two? Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's important to be, to know that it's not that difficult to reach out, to have a conversation, and you can get so much out of it.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really easy to reach out nowadays, especially. It's really easy to reach out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it sounds like being in Bulgaria has had quite a huge impact on your life.
The best thing I ever made is coming back to Bulgaria, because if I stayed there, there's nothing bad with being a chef in a restaurant, definitely. I don't know, I was completely lucky maybe, but I was going to be stuck with the same group of people for quite some time. And since I'm here, I started to be really proactive in my life and reach out to a lot of different people.
Yeah, and it sounds like you've definitely been able to be an impact, to be active in your community, to be part of the change, which is what we're hoping for.
Well said.
But if you were to look 5 years into the future, what would you say you want to see happen in Bulgaria, in your life, and in your community?
Okay, this is 3 questions. What I would like to see in Bulgaria in 5 years? I would like to see the people to be more open-minded about new things. This is what I really feel like is missing here. And I know it's not up to them, but it's up to me and up to people like me to make them believe in the mindedness. Help me. Thank you.
Open-mindedness.
Well played. Well said. So, yeah, I'm pushing to this, definitely. What I would like to see is more people being a mentors and being a mentee. Best thing ever. And okay, that's the next question. In my life, personally, I would like to stay the same. I'm really happy with my life. I'm really happy with what I do, and I would like to stay healthy and have the energy to help the people, because this is what I feel like I enjoy the most, helping people. And the third question was in Bulgaria,
in community, career.
In the community is growing quite nice. Just keep the same level of expansion. That would be cool, because in 5 years that's going to be much more.
Yeah, and we definitely see the startup culture in Bulgaria increasing, growing, becoming the hub of startups of Eastern Europe.
I would like to add something in this.
Okay.
I would like to see that the startups community in different cities grow as well, not only Sofia. Yeah, Sofia is really nice. I've been here for a couple of months now. Best place for startups. But as a person who loves his own city, I love Varna. And there is this guy who is doing a lot of things for the startup ecosystem there. I would like to see the startup ecosystem growing in Varna much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great wish for Varna and for the other cities that are slowly but surely developing in Bulgaria, and seeing more and more companies, startups, young people be active in the community.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're nearing the end of the podcast, but there's one more thing that we do, and that is our bowl of questions. There's a brand new set.
A bowl of questions.
Our little
I
bowl
like
of
the
questions.
bowl of questions.
And you can go ahead and pick one and read it out loud to us and let us know what you think.
I like the bowl of questions.
Yeah,
it reminds me of movies that we play. Okay. What's your ultimate cheat day when it comes to indulging in Bulgaria's sweets? I would need help with this word. What is indulging? Come on.
Indulging means like, when it's your cheat day, like you want to treat yourself to sweets, to what's your favorite? You said ice cream, but what about a Bulgarian one?
There is a sad truth about me. and I haven't been eating not ice cream but sugar for 2 years now.
Oh,
Yeah, I was a strong addict to sugar. Like, you have no idea how much ice cream I can eat. But maybe the sweet I'm eating now, I'm sometimes eating puddings without sugar, chocolate pudding without sugar, which is not sweet at all, but it feels like cheating, definitely. Yeah.
but what would you say, assuming that you're, in general, Bulgarian sweets, like,
In
what would you say
general,
is your
Bulgarian
best
sweets,
favorite
oh.
Bulgarian sweet?
Oh my God, there are so many.
Yeah.
Do you know about milk and rice?
Yeah.
Do you know it?
Mleko sa suris.
Mleko suris, yes.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Maybe this is the one. If I had to choose one right now, that would be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real good. My
I-
grandma makes it so good.
Yep. Yeah, it's really nice.
Well, I would like to thank you, Hristo, for being on our podcast, for offering your point of view, perspective, experience. It was really inspiring for me, and I'm sure for our whole audience. And I am super excited to see what you do next. I didn't get to hit all the topics.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get another chance to continue the conversation.
I
But
would love to.
yeah, thank you so much for being here and for your contribution.
And thank you so much for having me. It was an amazing podcast.
I'm glad.
Cheers.
We want to give a shout out to Resonator Co-Innovation Hub. They are our hosts for this podcast, and they are a creative technology hub offering R&D services and affordable access to cutting-edge prototyping labs. They have everything from software and device labs to podcast spaces to sound labs and event spaces. So go ahead and check them out at their website, which will be linked in the show notes below. So thank you to everybody for tuning in. Go ahead and let us know what you think about our conversation, what questions you have in the comments below, or just shouting us out. And please share this podcast if you enjoyed it and you have somebody that you think would also enjoy it. And give us a follow on our socials on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you consume your podcasts. Thank you for being here, and go out and do something awesome today.